Okay, given a choice, if I had a local content development tool, probably I would have taken it, not because of convenience, but because they understand our needs better. So technology be useful to them. If you have to train 10 people or 15 people, technology is not very useful. But say, for example, entire company you want to give training on code of conduct or POSH, or where we create content for companies and give it away to them, which is a
Mhm.
custom e-learning development. Then it was the e-learning or using of technology was not so much accepted. See, because of COVID now, everyone understands.
Good afternoon. Today we are having Dr. Chitra Dwivedi and founder and CEO of Enhance and Excel company. She is having 30 years of experience in management. The company currently works on using technology for people development through e-learning, business simulation, blended learning, and so on. Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
This is Subhasis, and I am a community manager at Startup Lane. And I am delighted that you have taken out the precious time for this interview. So, before going
Yeah,
out,
it's my pleasure.
start the interview, could you please
Sure.
introduce yourself, sir?
Yeah, so my name is Chitra Dwivedi. I have a background in technology. I worked with TCS for 24 years. I was head of their Pune delivery center. Then I moved into Tata Management Training Center, where I was director for a leadership research project. And then 2008, I started Enhance and Excel. And
Okay.
the idea in starting Enhance and Excel was to use technology in people development space.
Okay. My first question is that how did you come up with the idea of a startup?
Okay. See, if you look at functions like finance, the technology is penetrated completely. ERP is there, and so many, if you look at how people trade shares, even that is now automatic. But when people development comes, we don't find lot of people into technology, using technology for it. And that was the idea that I have background in technology, then why not use it in the area where it is not there in the first place.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. What was the most difficult part in the early stages of company's growth?
See, the most difficult part was then it was the e-learning or using of technology was not so much accepted. See, because of COVID now, everyone understands remote learning. Everyone understands, how e-learning works.
Mhm.
But that was not the case in the early years, where it was always a challenge convincing someone that they can use a computer and still learn. So that was the early set of problems.
Okay.
Another problem was infrastructure in India was not that good at that time. I mean, now you have 5G,
Mhm. Yeah.
streaming is much simpler. It was not the case there. So that was also a challenge, creating content which can sustain the old infrastructure.
Okay. So, what was the gap in the market that you identified?
There are, see, okay, if you really look at various segments, some amount of e-learning was even then happening in K-12 space, that is kindergarten to 12th,
Mhm.
where right now Byju's is there, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But when it comes to adult learning, people who are working professionals, who are having less time at their disposal, who are mobile, who are moving around, we found that they are the ones who will benefit best out of technology, and there wasn't much that was available there. So that was the gap we looked at.
Okay. So, can you explain your business model?
Okay, now we are really operating at three different levels. Okay,
Mhm.
one is where we create content for companies and give it away to them, which is a
Mhm.
custom e-learning development. Other is we provide hosting services, which
Mhm.
is content could be made by us or by someone else, but is hosted. And third is where we have content which is created as a product and it is available for fee as a license fee to view. So these three models, these three offerings are there. We hope we want to move to product mode as much as we can, but custom development also fetches us good amount of revenue.
That's nice. What are the products and services that you offer?
So one thing I told you, the custom service development, e-learning, the content development, or even for that matter, simulations development. We create softwares which simulate real life, and using that we can teach. So that simulations are complex softwares which also we can create, and also custom e-learning development is simple. We really create e-learning content and give it away. That is the service we offer, and our products consist of more than 200 plus modules we have clubbed into around 20 courses in management and technical areas. So, the energy or electrical safety or areas such as management like HR or finance or marketing. So there are multiple courses like that, and they are available for companies to. We can offer it to uh, their employees.
That's great. So, who are your target customers?
One big target is our for the custom development is the company. Actually, any large size company, say 200 plus people, where they have to at a time train many people. So technology be useful to them. If you have to train 10 people or 15 people, technology is not very useful. But say, for example, entire company you want to give training on code of conduct or POSH, or then for custom development, these are the companies who keep coming to us for such kind of development. For products, actually, it can be any adult. Early pass outs to very senior people. Anybody can be. We often try to market it to larger organizations where you get bulk registrations.
Okay. So, why do your customers choose your products or services? Why do they order again?
Okay, one reason is see, our products have good depth. So if you look at the content coverage for the subject, say project management, it is almost the entire syllabus of a typical MBA trimester. And it's not like one of 1 hour program. So our products are serious learning, deep content product. Another thing is for custom development, we have a good technical background now, with me having technical background plus my team now into it. So there is always a challenge creating complex e-learnings which are technical in nature, because content developers don't understand say for example energy or electrical engineering. So there our people are more used to create those content, so it becomes easier for companies to connect with us and get things done from us. So that helps them.
So, what are the three unique things about you that make you better than your competitors?
Okay, number one is we are very flexible. We keep inventing new ideas so that we can meet the customer requirements, and we are not rigid about we will do only this way or that way. We are rigid about our ethics, but not about content development. Second is, as I said, there is a depth in the courses, in the technical knowledge that is there with us. So that's the reason they keep coming. In fact, most of my customers are with me for more than 5 years. and we keep getting more and more work from them because of this technical depth that we provide. And third is we are all the time trying out new technologies, new ideas. So we have a team which is extremely creative and finding out solutions beyond what is required.
So my next question will be, why should a job applicant work with you?
Okay, we there are two reasons. One reason is the opportunities to learn.
Mhm.
In typical e-learning situation, you are either a graphic designer or you are an instruction designer or you are a content developer. Whereas we make it compulsory that everyone knows all aspects. So they get a more broader and more opportunities to learn more, find, discover themselves. Second is we have a culture where we keep exciting them in terms of trying out new things. So if you have been content developing, then next assignment will be creating some animation. So you get into that, and the culture is such that everyone helps everyone. I mean, there
Yeah.
are no departments,
Yeah.
so that is why people keep coming to us. I mean, interns who join us usually continue with us. That's how it works.
So what are the products and services you constantly require for your business?
Oh, we require content development tools. So right now they are all, Adobe or Storyline. And really speaking, they are not too good, but and expensive. They are very expensive. But we don't have a good alternative. That is the reality. So the content license of every content development tool is fairly expensive, and that is our challenge.
Okay, that's great. So on which parameters do you select your vendors and suppliers, like price, quality, or convenience?
Okay, uh, it is combination of all three. It is not one thing. See, in case of content development tools, there are very few options about choosing a supplier.
Mhm.
Okay, I mean there are only two or three overseas or international players, and that is what drives everything. Okay, given a choice, if I had a local content development tool, probably I would have taken it, not because of convenience, but because they understand our needs better.
Mhm.
See, quality price is given,
Yeah.
but our needs need to be understood better, which is not happening with our current vendors. But we have to live with it.
Yeah.
When it comes to vendor for services,
Mhm.
say for example, if I have to employ some contractors for software development, etc., we are focused on quality. I mean, strictly quality, because quality is a issue with many of these good softwares, and that's
So you are mainly on quality. Okay. So what are the recent and long-term plans of your startup?
recent plan. We are about to launch. In fact, coming week we are launching one game on creative critical thinking. Soon we will be launching one more course on energy finance. So
Mhm.
there are a lot of launches that are in the pipeline. Long run, I want to see ourselves as a product company rather than a content development services company. Because I feel Indian ITES overall is too much into TNM. You know, give the service per hour or fixed price, and not really. I mean, if you look at Microsoft, Microsoft is a product company. The kind of scale that it offers,
Mhm.
the other software companies can't. So that's the way I look at it. That down the line, I think we want a product company. We want to be a product company.
So that is a great long-term plans for your startup. So are
Thank
you
you.
raising external funds or willing to raise in near future?
I have not raised any external funds so far.
Mhm.
In future, I will raise it provided there is a very clear roadmap of marketing the products. Because just for the sake of it, raising funds is not what we are looking. I would rather want a marketing partner rather than a financer.
Okay. Yeah.
So quite a few companies came to me saying that they don't mind investing in, but I really don't need investment in, money. But I need investment in ideas and commitment and, thinking through, which I have not got any. I mean, people really want to just throw away some money and, keep at it rather than becoming partners, so to say.
Mhm.
Equally investing in effort and energy.
Yeah. So lastly, last my question is, what is your feedback on startup links?
Okay, see, I've done my PhD in leadership competencies of small enterprises, and I have learned in that the leaders of particularly small enterprises learn by interacting with each other more than anything else, because they don't have opportunities of corporate world
Yeah.
in terms of learning. So Startup Lens is a good initiative in that space, because then people get to learn from each other to some extent. However, I feel it's slightly more what you call straitjacketed transactional in approach. It could be, the dialogue can be more open and more opportunity of interaction will make it more effective, is what I feel.
That's great. So now we have come to the end of this interview. So thank you so much, ma'am. It's great talking to
Thank you.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.